Well, guys, I am so excited that you are spending your pre-Thanksgiving afternoon with me. I, of course, am your host, Mary Hyatt. You are in the right place for the Mary Hyatt Show, and I have a fabulous topic for us today. There's a lot of panic. There is a lot of stress around the food that we eat during the holidays. It's supercharged. There's a lot of triggers. And so today we're going to get into all that, and hopefully by the end you will feel like you have full permission to eat dessert, enjoy your holiday meal in a way that allows you to be present to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's start the show. So glad you guys are here with me. For those of you who maybe don't know me, maybe this is your first time on the show, maybe somebody that you know shared this on their page and you're going, okay, I'm excited about today's topic, but who the heck are you, Mary? So like I said, my name is Mary Hyatt, and I am a presidential diamond with doTERRA essential oils. I am a life coach and a body love advocate. And every single week I do a show and we talk about things like vulnerability, authenticity, how to love your body more, how to accept the body that you have today, how to really make peace with food, make peace with the mirror, and ultimately wake up, find your voice, and become fully alive. And today's show is right in line with what I love to talk about, and that is getting outside of the triggers related to food, and especially Thanksgiving. So clearly tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and a lot of us have memories surrounding Thanksgiving. You know, there's a lot of stress. There's stress around family. There is a lot of stress around food. And whether we know it or not, typically, without being conscious, we are either going to plan tomorrow to really restrict ourselves or let ourselves binge. Okay? And there's usually no in between. And there is stress on either side. Either we are afraid of the food, and so we're going to restrict, or we are afraid of ourselves and our lack of self-control. And because dessert and comfort foods are usually considered bad foods, that creates a lot of stress, because then we are either going to give in and be bad, or we're going to be on our best behavior and be good. And so it's a lot of stuff going on. And obviously when we think about dessert falls into the category of bad food. It falls under the category of foods that we probably shouldn't eat. It's that guilty pleasure. It is, that sinful act if we indulge in it. And so the book Intuitive Eating says, if you tell yourself that you can't or shouldn't have a particular food, it can lead to intense feelings of deprivation that builds into uncontrollable cravings and often binging. And so even if you are somebody who says, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna let myself eat the dessert this year, or I'm gonna just go for it, I'm just gonna really enjoy it, eat all these forbidden foods, the chances are pretty high that you're gonna feel really guilty afterwards. And if you are like most women, what happens is you go on that downward spiral of shame. Like, oh my God, how did I let myself eat so much? Why did I do that? I was so bad. And that creates a lot of panic. That creates a lot of stress and a lot of shame. And so what's interesting about Thanksgiving is that in our holidays, obviously this is an American holiday, but it's the only holiday that we celebrate food in this way. We have a lot of memories around this meal. We have a lot of focus around food. And so there's a lot of opportunity to have anxiety. My friend Kelly, we were talking about this, and she said, I have so many feelings and memories attached to certain foods that only come around once or twice a year. And so I'm always afraid of what I might miss out on by skipping or restricting certain foods. And I don't know what to do. I mean, who feels like that? Who feels like they're either in the camp of I'm going to restrict or I am going to binge? If you feel like you kind of fall into one of those, just click in a number 1 below in the comments. Just type in a number 1 so I know this resonates. Or of course, you can give me some thumbs up. You can give me some hearts. But this creates a lot of anxiety. And so most people, though, probably are already planning on eating dessert. In the beginning, I was asking you guys what your favorite dessert was. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie. We had all kinds of cool stuff. Lemon pie, pecan pie cake, apple pie. I mean, so many different kinds of pies and desserts. So you're already kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to eat dessert. But we aren't necessarily thinking about what's coming next. All right, Jesse, Diane, Michelle, Emily, you guys are all giving me a 1. Okay, cool. We know what comes next. The shame, the guilt, the berating ourselves. I mean, it's really intense. I mean, it's like, okay, now I'm a bad person for eating this dessert. I don't have any self-control. I need to go do more workouts. I need to do more cardio. I need to go on a cleanse. I need to go on a diet. Like, oh my God, it just goes round and round and round, the hamster wheel. And what's hard is that we are even more charged around dessert, like I said, because it's guilty, it's naughty. I remember growing up, my dad had this friend, Dad, since you're on, this made me think of this, but I had my dad had this friend, Robert, and anytime we would go eat, he would always say, life is short, eat dessert first. And I can remember as a teenager, I loved that. Like, I loved that he was like, life is short. Freaking enjoy the dessert. And literally, if you went to a restaurant with him, he would order the dessert first. And for me, as a teenage girl who's really awkward in her body and already dieting, already afraid of food, that felt like ultimate freedom. To actually order dessert, it screamed pleasure. And we didn't talk about that much growing up. Or maybe not even at all. It's kind of that forbidden thing. It felt really luxurious. It felt kind of rebellious. It felt naughty. And that's how we feel around dessert. It feels rebellious. It feels naughty. It feels like we have to do it in secrecy. But what happens is then we expect all of that to change on Thanksgiving and be able to eat it. But what happens is later, like Diane, you said, this shame parade, exactly, comes into play. And so dessert is charged. We serve it, but then we judge people that are eating it. We put it out, but if you get a slice or maybe 2 slices or maybe 3 slices on your plate, everybody's kind of secretly judging you. And that's not just dessert. I mean, that goes for the rest of the meal too. There's a lot of energy around that. And so because it's naughty, because it's been forbidden, we gorge on it. We overeat. And like, I forget who said, like, you're going into the food coma. You leave Thanksgiving meal and you're so miserable. Like, your body is so full. It's aching so much because you're so full. And that's because it's been forbidden. And it's almost like, okay, we're going to be lax once a year and let ourselves eat this. So we better eat it all right now. And then we blame ourselves that we didn't have more self-control. And so I think that there are 3 reasons why we begin to overeat during the holidays. Now, I want to get a lot of hearts and a lot of thumbs up on this because I know that you guys are going to relate to this. The first reason why we emotionally eat and overeat is because emotional triggers. Hello, y'all. Already I'm feeling emotional. I've got a lot of grief coming up for me. There is oftentimes a lot of loneliness, a lot of sadness that happens. I know some people said to me on Instagram that it's like that realization, like another year that's gone by that I didn't lose the weight that I was supposed to lose, or another year that's gone by that I didn't, move up in my business like I was supposed to. Another year that I'm not married or in a significant relationship. Another year I'm tolerating a miserable relationship. There's like a lot of energy around the end of the year, and especially around the holidays. We feel really sad and defeated about it all. So the first reason we go to eat is because we have all these emotional triggers happening on Thanksgiving Day and around the days following. And the second reason that we begin to overeat is because of family drama. I don't know anybody who usually doesn't have some kind of family drama, whether it's a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, your estranged sister, your estranged brother, your crazy uncle, your crazy aunt, the handsy one, the belligerent one, the super conservative one. There's like all these different components of your family that get brought into the mix. And that's a reason why we're going to want to go overeat. We want to get some escape from the crazy. And then the third reason that I see that people start to overeat during the holidays in particular is because, I kind of alluded to this, it becomes a cheat day. It becomes like a sanctioned cheat day, and it's almost as if it's the Last Supper. It's almost if we're never going to eat this again, and so we want to get in as much as we can get in while we can get it in, and we're going to do it all right now. We're going to make it count. And, we think to ourselves, Monday, I'll get back on track. Monday, I'll start the diet. Monday is a new day. And so let me get this in right now. So it becomes like a sanctioned cheat day. Anybody feel that? If you are feeling like either there are emotional triggers, family drama, or it's a cheat day, will you just type in the comments, let me know which of those feels the most true for you? If you are, somebody who is dealing with a lot in the holidays, which of those is the strongest? Emotional triggers, family drama, or that sanctioned cheat day? Or maybe it's a combination of all of that. So just go ahead and comment below, because I want to know which of these is really going to resonate with you. But anytime we have all of this rolling around in our heads, emotional triggers, family drama, the sanctioned cheat day, when our emotions basically feel too intense, what do? We go to numb. Lisa, you said cheat day. Diane, you said emotional triggers. Michelle, emotional and drama. Karen, emotional. The other Karen, emotional. Shell, emotional. Yeah, a lot of emotional triggers. So we want to numb that. We want to dull the pain of loneliness, or the lack of boundaries that we have with mom, or whatever may be coming up. And the quickest way to do that is to eat or to drink. So a while ago, when we had some family drama, our family motto was keep drinking, keep laughing. At least that was how it was with the sisters. It was here, have a drink, have a glass of wine, keep drinking, keep laughing, it's all gonna be okay, And thankfully, my family, we are just so much healthier now. Therapy, dealing with our stuff, we don't have to use that anymore. Our family gatherings are now really lovely and really enjoyable. But when we are trying to cope with what's going on, it's we're gonna use food, we're gonna use alcohol to cope. And most of us are just trying to survive the holidays, and we have to numb out to survive. We have to use a tool that kind of dulls that intense pain. And so of course we're going to go to food. Of course we're going to go to alcohol. But the thing is that you cannot numb the bad while not numbing the good. You can't selectively numb. If you try to numb out the intense feelings, then you're also going to numb out the good. And then you're going to be completely checked out. Then you're not present for the holidays. And my desire for all of us, all of you guys, including myself, is to be fully present for the holidays, for Thanksgiving, tomorrow, to be fully present and to see if you can, instead of just surviving, find some joy, fully enjoy it, actually fully enjoy what you're eating, moving it out of just a coping tool to something that you actually enjoy, that you actually look forward to, so that you're not coping with food, but you give yourself permission to eat it and enjoy it. So that doesn't mean you can't eat. That doesn't mean that you can't have dessert. I love Thanksgiving. I love the fact that it is a celebration of food and that there's so much gratitude and there's a lot of pleasure that we can experience on Thanksgiving. So I want to teach you how to eat your dessert and enjoy it. Okay? And this is exciting because not only do you have the permission to eat it, guess what? You can enjoy it. So I'm going to walk through this kind of mindfulness process to actually eat it and enjoy it. So the first step to this is to give yourself permission to eat the dessert. All right? And this is important because we have labeled the dessert as bad. We have labeled the dessert as something that is sinful. And so we have to take the dessert and bring it back to neutral. And remember, and please watch some of my previous videos where we talk about what is normal eating. I would love for you to watch that episode because we talk about good foods and bad foods. And y'all, I have got the worst, side note, worst leg. My leg is so asleep right now, so I'm going to just kind of move it a little bit. It's like that painful asleep. Anyways, but when we think about dessert, we've got to go, this is not a bad food and salad is a good food. All food is created equal. And it's about tuning into our body. It's about giving ourselves permission. It's just another food. Like the pie is just another food until you attach the guilt to it, until you attach the fact that it's bad. So give yourself permission to eat the dessert and bring it back down to neutral. Instead of it being forbidden, instead of it being bad, we have to remove the guilt from it. So give yourself permission to eat your dessert. That is the first step to really enjoying it. Okay, the second step in this mindfulness process is to put the bite of, let's say, pumpkin pie in your mouth and chew it. Now, what happens when you chew it is that you're slowing down the process. Most of us will eat and immediately swallow. So if we can just be present fully, if we're going to enjoy it, we got to chew it. So just chew it, like leave it in your mouth a little bit longer than you normally would. So instead of swallowing it immediately, leave it in your mouth and chew it. And this third step that comes while you're chewing is to taste it, to fully taste it and savor it. And so roll that pumpkin pie around in your mouth a little bit, like, okay, I'm tasting it. Okay, this is really good. Identify what you like about it. Feel the texture of the pie, the crust, the insides of the pie. Really taste it. Really savor it. Don't just swallow it right away. Enjoy it. Like, give yourself the permission to taste your food. So often we eat so fast because we feel like it's a forbidden food and we almost feel like we're going to get caught. We almost have that guilt of like, oh gosh, I got to eat this quick so that nobody really notices. And this is a process of slowing down, chewing and tasting and savoring it. So you go, oh my God, like I love this. This is so good. If this is exciting to you, like, oh my God, I'm actually going to get to taste my dessert. Can you give me some hearts? Can you give me some likes? Can you give me some thumbs up? I love to know, like, yes, okay, I'm going to savor it. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to keep it in my mouth a second before I swallow it. And the fourth step in this mindfulness practice with your dessert is to put your fork down. This is a process that I have had to use a lot in my journey of intuitive eating. I am coming out with this amazing course in January called Babe Redefined, where you help make peace with the mirror, you quiet your inner bully, and you love your body. And within that course, in one of the modules, I talk about intuitive eating and how we can begin to make peace with this food. And so part of this process is putting your fork down. Because what that does is it slows your process down. It's like, I don't have to eat really, really fast because I'm not in trouble. I'm not guilty. I'm not afraid I'm going to get caught. It's like, put the fork down and I can still chew. I can still taste. I can still enjoy. So put your fork down between each bite. So I want you to practice this with your Thanksgiving dessert. Put your fork down, even your Thanksgiving meal. Okay, the fifth step is to check in with your fullness. So if you want to be fully present with this eating experience and you're not eating just to cope, so you're not eating to numb, but you're eating for the enjoyment of eating, you're eating for the pleasure of eating, check in with your body. Check in with your fullness. I love this fullness scale. This comes from the book Intuitive Eating. And you can almost rate yourself from a 1 to a 10. So maybe you're feeling a 6.5. Maybe you're feeling slightly satisfied. Maybe you're at an 8 and you feel full. Maybe you're at a 9 and you're stuffed, and at a 10 you're sick. And the ideal here is to be at like a 6.5, 7, 8. Like that's where you are tasting your food. That is where you are enjoying your food. That's when you're savoring it. And you aren't letting yourself get to the point where it's painful. Because when you get painful, that's when you're numbing. That's when you're coping. That's when you're shutting off. That's that emotional eating. So this is like, oh my God, like let's enjoy this. So it's actually pleasurable. And so halfway through your pie, so like if you have a slice of pie, okay, you get halfway through, pause, and feel your fullness. Kind of think through that, rate it from a 1 to a 10. How full am I? Am I still hungry? Do I want more pie? Do I want to finish this pie? Or am I okay, tossing it out or saving it till later? Because the truth is, we have to always, and this is the final step, give ourselves permission to have seconds. So there's always going to be some pie that you can eat later. Take some leftovers if you need to. But when you give yourself permission to have seconds, there's not that pressure that's like, I can't ever eat this again, so I'm going to have to eat it all right now. It gives you permission to honor your hunger and stop eating and kind of push it away. Like, okay, I'm satisfied. I really enjoyed that. That was so freaking delicious. Without feeling that need to like eat so much because you're never going to have it again. So in your mind, just say, you know what? If I want more later, I can have more later. I can get another piece. I can push this in the fridge, pull it out later, eat it for breakfast, whatever that looks like. Give yourself permission to have seconds. That will help kind of dissipate that panicky feeling of like Last Supper. Like, I got to get this right now because I'm never going to have it again. And so this really does help you be present with your food. What I love about this sort of 6-step mindfulness practice, where you're giving yourself permission to eat, you're chewing your food, you're tasting it and savoring it, you're putting your fork down between bites, and you're checking in with your hunger, and of course you are giving yourself permission to have seconds. It helps you slow down and tap into your body. You enjoy it, you experience it, you savor it. And you don't need 3 slices, because you feel like you can't even taste it and you eat it so fast you don't enjoy it. No, you can like love it. You can enjoy it. And so give yourself permission for that. And give yourself permission, and this is just obviously in general, don't even think about calories. Go back again to my episode of normal eating. What does normal eating look like? Because normal eating is not counting calories. Normal eating is not portion controlling. Normal eating or intuitive eating is not restricting. It's trusting your body when you're full and honoring it when it's hungry. You eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're full. And you listen to your body. How does this make me feel? How does this, is this energizing to me? And give yourself permission to leave food on your plate if you need to. Give yourself permission to fully finish if you want to. There are no rules at all to the eating process. So ditch the rules and become present with your eating experience. And let me just say this. There are going to be several of us hanging out watching this, and you have every intention of being mindful, of being intentional, intuitive tomorrow, and something might come up, something might happen where you get triggered and you decide you eat too much to where you have that sick feeling, or that you're just cashed out from all the food. Maybe you drink too much. Give yourself some grace. Like, there's a lot going on, so give yourself some grace. It's okay if you end up being too full. It's okay if you end up coping through food or through alcohol, like, y'all, don't add shame or guilt to the mix. That isn't helpful at all. Just give yourself grace. Like, there's a lot going on. And if you can, I encourage you to be mindful, to give yourself permission to eat and to really enjoy it. And as Christy Harrison says, it's self-care, not self-control. It's not about being good tomorrow. I'm going to be good by being mindful. I'm going to be good by listening to my body. I'm going to be good by only eating until I'm full. No. This isn't performance. This isn't diet mentality. You can't screw this up. You're not going to be bad. This is like giving yourself grace to be present with whatever's coming up, all the emotions. Oh my God, I'm feeling a lot of grief today. I'm feeling a lot of loneliness today. I just, you know what? I don't have it to give. I am just going to drink this glass of wine. Okay. It's all right. You know, but if you can really tap in and listen to your body through the lens of how can I be kind to myself in this moment? And sometimes being kind means stopping when you're full because you don't want to hurt later. That's being kind. You know, sometimes being kind is saying like, I can come back later for seconds. You know, respecting your body, honoring your body, listening to your body. And ultimately, I tell people, I say, okay, this is the goal, to find your happy place. Your happy place is where you are fully tasting and enjoying your dessert, and you're also honoring your body and stopping when you're full. Where that meets together, where you're tasting and enjoying it and you're respecting your body, that is your happy place. That is your self-care place. That is your being kind to your body place. And I love that because it takes the pressure off. It's like, you can really enjoy it. You can find pleasure in your food. And you can also respect your body in the process. And this is a journey. Like, we're also figuring this out. I can remember when I started to implement this a few years ago at my holidays with the family, and I didn't at all ever do it perfectly. I still don't do it perfectly. I probably eat to about an 8.5, you know, on the holidays, because there is stuff that gets triggered. But it's like, as much as I'm able to, and as much as I have energy for, to be mindful and to be a little bit more present with my eating so that I really taste it and find the pleasure out of it, and also say, like, what's coming up emotionally? And how can I actually address that versus just eating and numbing and coping my way through it. And maybe this year, because this is the first time you've heard this, you do that, but you go, okay, I'm going to make it a point to do that a little bit more, to be a little bit more mindful. So I am just excited to hear how this goes for you guys, whether it is like a home run or whether it's really messy. That's okay. It's all right. I want to hear about it. So let me know. And I'm excited to be back with you next week. I've got a super exciting announcement, something I'm offering for free in December that you all get to participate in. So I can't wait to share that with you next week at 1:00 Central right here on my Facebook Live show. So make sure that you join me for that. But I do hope that each of you have a really present, a really mindful, a really lovely, beautiful Thanksgiving day tomorrow. And how appropriate, as I end every show, that the purpose of life is to be grateful, to be great, and to be full. And today I am so grateful for each of you, for the ways in which you encourage me, the ways you show up for yourself, your presence here today and every week, the sweet notes that you send me. I'm just really grateful for you guys. I couldn't be here if it weren't for you. I'm grateful that you listen to me, that you put your trust into me. I just love y'all. I love this. I love this work. It's meaningful work. And I will see you guys next week. Have a fabulous, happy Thanksgiving.